It is Sunday the 12th of July 2020. I'm having a look at major commodities and starting off with gold. Really nice in isolation uptrend. So if we weren't at 1800, my instincts would be immediately to look for entry opportunities, swing opportunities, as well as intraday opportunities over the coming week and trade it up to 1900. So if I look at it on the daily, it is fantastic and strong and bullish and no concerns there. If I look at it on the weekly, it is starting to head into slightly overextended territory, certainly in the early stages of that, but not dangerously so at all. When I look at it on the monthly, it is now officially in overextended kind of territory. So here's the thing. It is possible that, as we've had in the past, we could have do a last minute boost up to straight up to 1900. That is not outside the realm of possibilities, but I have to say that originally my plan was that price would hit 1800, take a breather, come back down, test 1550 or 1600, and then resume the chase back up to 1900, continuing onwards. But I'm now going to include the possibility that it could potentially break through and take a run at 1900. Although so as I said, my plan A was that price would find resistance here, take a bit of a monthly breather back down to 1600 or 1550 before, in other words, as it's done in the past, and then take another run up and then carry on to 1900. But at the moment it looks really happy and healthy. So I think that it's probably more realistic, because 1900 is so close by, that there is actually a real possibility that it could attempt to do that. So that's really what I'm going to be looking for this week, is looking to see a nice little bullish candle set up on Monday or Tuesday, looking for price to break through on that if it finds support on 1800 and then takes another run up to 1900. And potentially, obviously, the idea being that, yes, price could fall through and then start to head back down on a monthly or weekly retracement back down towards the moving averages. But I am leaning it's just definitely a possibility for me that this could attempt to continue on upwards. Silver is now overextended surely on that weekly and potentially a bit on the monthly, and certainly on the daily a little bit more overextended, and definitely hitting resistance here. If gold carries on, yes, silver can push on through as well, but I'm also I prefer gold of the two in terms of trading opportunities. Looking at crude oils, now crude is at a very interesting place, because looking at its monthly, and I'm going to group all three into this, they all have similar, they're all highly correlated, and anywhere in this area it is very possible for, at these are the two key levels on the monthly time frame, and anywhere within this it is very feasible for price, let me do that again, very feasible for price to turn around in this area and potentially resume the longer term trend. So this was one level where that is potentially a possibility. The next level up at 50.51 is also a potential area to do that. It is also has done a really long run up on the weekly without taking a bit of a breather. So this is quite a long move without without any kind of a pullback like we did on the way down. It has produced bullish, some nice little bullish candles here, and usually at this point I would just reduce price and then look to see, in this case, is the MACD starting to head lower, the RSI is heading a bit lower, which is usually an indication of weakness. So what I'm going to be looking for this week is heading down to break the previous lows, then looking for potential shorts, but at the same time I'm noting on all of them that we have nice little bullish candles that have set up on support near these round numbers. Brent as well, very nice, setting up as a bullish candle. There is a level of resistance here, there's no doubt about it. There is definitely something that it has got to work its way through. If we could break through that, yes, it may actually be able to work its way up and continue on upwards. A third option, of course, is just a sideways consolidation. So this is what I'm going to be taking into account, because we're at a fork in the road, whether we do potentially turn here or potentially turn at 50, 53 in that area. I'll be looking for breaks of the recent daily low. If price fails to get up through this, starts to head lower, breaks through that, goes into a bit of a downtrend. But at the same time, yes, if we have just a general commodity kind of bull run over the next couple of weeks, and gold does climb higher, it is also not inconceivable that oil could also attempt to do that and start to work its way up towards 50 to 53, depending on which of the crude oils that I'm looking at. So that is my approach for it, is really to monitor it on potentially the 4-hour time frame, really to see which way it is starting to trend to the upside or trend to the downside, and then trade that appropriately. Bitcoin did a little bit of a move higher. over the last few days. So a little bit of a bullish finish, and I was looking at Ethereum being a little bit more bullish than that. So that managed to climb a bit over the last week. It's still range bound. And so it's more of the same this week, really looking to see if that can then break to the upside. So the difference between the cryptos and oils is that at least they've all been trending recently, and whereas this doesn't really show any particular rhyme or reason why it's good to go. It has produced a nice little bullish candle here in the moving averages and followed through with another bullish candle here. So actually this implies, aside from the resistance at 250, this implies that the momentum is getting ready to break and move higher. And so that's really it. I'll just have to wait until it breaks to those levels before it'll start to pick up pace. And the oils, as I said, I'm prepared for moves in either direction, and gold as well prepared for moves. So although it seems a bit of a fork in the road, this is the case. They are all at these key levels, but they are also at the same time look just a little bit more bullish than bearish.